Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and welcome to the show, y'all. When you join a gang in prison, you can't fully understand how it can change your life when you get out of prison. See, a lot of people come to prison and they join gangs because it provides protection. You see how they move and you think it's cool. You want that brotherhood, all of this and that. Everybody's got their own reasons, whatever they may be. But see, joining a gang is like getting married, right? Although you're probably getting married to somebody you're never going to be able to fully trust, but it's like getting married. It's a full-time commitment. It's a life-changing commitment, right? Do you understand that part, right? You need to understand that because it's going to get thick in a minute, right? See, let me tell you about this brother named An1. See, An1 got locked up. He ain't had but a 6-year sentence, right? Short. An1 had a 6-year sentence when he came in, right? And An1, he stood about 5'4", 5'5". At the most, if he got on his tiptoes, he'd be 5'6". And I know this little brother couldn't have weighed 150 pounds, but he had heart. He had the heart of a lion. But he looked like a kid. He looked like a kid. And see, the OG on the compound, he took a liking to him because first night that he was there in the gym, An1 get on the floor. He like a little Spud Webb. You know, Spud Webb, the basketball player. He had to shaking and baking, right? But see, one of the other Crip brothers that's a little, you know what I'm saying, bigger than him, but the same age, he pushed him down on the court. Now, An1, he's standing on his own, right? He jumped up off the floor like he was a rubber ball, bounced straight up off and ran right into Cuz and pushed him. Don't be putting your hands on me, man. Now, all of the Crips, they jumped up. They run towards him, right? Now, you got to keep in mind, keep this visual, y'all. It's about 12, 15 Crips, right? Real deal Holyfield type stuff. Running up and they surround this dude that's at the most 5'6" inches tall, 130, at the most soaking wet, he might be 135, right? And dude ain't backing down from now on. They surround him on the court. Everybody else just stand back to watch to see how this thing gonna play out. The OG walk up and he look at it. He start laughing. He said, man, you got heart. He said, what's your name? He said, man, my name An1. Looking up at him, right? Neck tilted. You know what I mean? Shaking like a box of crap, but he ain't running from nobody. So everybody's watching to see what's going on. So he tell everybody, man, y'all back up, man. Go on and sit down somewhere. Go on and start playing again. He said, man, walk with me, talk with me. So An1, you know what I'm saying, he get beside him and they start walking laps in the gym where everybody else is playing basketball, lifting weights in the corner, shooting dice in the corner, whatever they had going on, right? But they're walking, and his security, about two, you know what I'm saying, two guys, they're walking probably about 5 steps behind him, right? But he's walking with An1, and he said, man, what you in here for, man? And he tell him. He said, so you ain't got nothing, one of them crazy charges? And he's like, nah, I ain't none of that. I was trying to get my money, you know what I'm saying? Somebody tried to take something from me. I had to put in work. And keep in mind, this is a kid, right? 19 years old. And he tell him, he said, look, you know who I am? That's what the OG tell him. He's like, nah, I don't know who you are. I just got here. And he tell him what city he on and all this and that. He OG, he over this, he over that. He got guys all around the state, you know what I'm saying? He the big shit popping, you feel me? So he's listening to him and he's looking at him, right? And he said, man, I like your heart, man. He said, I like your heart. You got guts. You ain't running from nothing. He said, you the type of dude that needed to be with me. And one look at him, he said, man, what you mean by that? Being with you. How I'm going to be with you? So he looked at An1, he said, let me put you on, man. Let me put you on the hood. He said, put me on. What's that mean? He said, I'm going to make you part of my family. He said, how you going to do that? He said, we got to jump you in. Now, and one ain't totally green. He done heard about this stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? Getting jumped in, so he know what that's about. He said, man, I ain't finna be doing all that, let nobody beat me up, man. He said, man, ain't nobody gonna beat you up, man. But we gonna put hands on you. But he said, that's how we show we love you. He said, man, you need people like me in your life. So and one looking at him, right, he don't know what to say. He said, look, I'm going to have somebody come holler at you tomorrow, and they going to take care of it. I'm going to tell them, take it easy on you. You feel what I'm saying? So you can go on and become a part of this. And then he said, I'm going to personally teach you everything you need to know. So and one looking at him, he all spooked. He said, don't worry about it. You're going to be all right. And then the OG walk off. He go back over there with his guys. And one, he sat down at the end of the bleachers, right, by himself, just looking around, don't know what to think, eyes big as a $50. He young, he new, he don't really know what's going on, right? All the other gangs is looking at him and trying to size him up, wondering, you know what I'm saying, if he was going to take him up on that offer, because everybody know what he just did. You feel me? Everybody know that he just propositioned and told him he wanted to be a part of the business. So now everybody watching and waiting and seeing, because, see, when somebody get put down, listen to me. If you ain't never seen that, it's a gruesome sight. Man, it is like a beating. I mean, brutal. So, here we go. The next morning, and one, he in the unit, just getting up out the bed. He heard a knock on the door. He could look out the window on the door. He was like, yeah, what is it? He said, and one. He said, man, we want to holler at you. Now, he don't really know who they are, but he know their faces from the night before in the gym. So he opened the door, you know what I'm saying, and let them in. And they tell his cellie, step out. His cellie get up out the bed, walk out the cell. But before he left, he took and unplugged his TV, put it on his bunk, wrapped it up in his coat, you know what I'm saying, and put it up against the wall so that it wouldn't get broke. He already knew what was going on because he had heard about, you know what I'm saying, what had happened the night before in the gym, right? He stepped out the cell. About 5 or 6 of them rush up in there. And when I tell you ain't nothing but tennis shoes screeching, everybody in there, they jacking. All you hear is like, shut up, nigga, whoop, nah, nah. They putting it on. I'm talking they putting it down. You hear what I'm talking about? Beating him. You can hear him hollering. Stop, no, stop. They beating him. Shut up. You gonna get it whether you want it or not. I'm talking about they beating him. Then all of a sudden, just as quick as it started, it stopped. Silence. Then they bailing up out of, look, sweating, breathing hard, chest going in and out, up and down, real hard. Young dudes. They all bail up out of there one at a time, looking around to see where the police is as they making their way out the front of the door. They get up out of there. His cellie walk back in there. He laying on the floor, leaking. Blood all over him. Hurting. Can barely get up. His cellie help him get up. He set him up on the bed, right? You know what I'm saying? He looking at him. He beat. He said, man, you're going to have to get in the shower and clean yourself up. And one, so he hurting so bad he couldn't even talk. He ain't never been beat like that in his life. He said, so you one of them now? And one looked up at him. He said, man, I don't know what just happened. He said, man, you one of them now. He said, man, go on and get yourself together, man, and get in the shower. They're going to be waiting on you, man, when you come up out the pod, man. He said, now what's going on now? He said, man, they finna welcome you in and open arms, man. You one of them now. Everybody on the compound finna see it. He go get in the shower. He washing himself up. It's hurting him. Man, they beat him. This dude don't weigh 130 pounds, 5'6", man, at the most. They beat him. He bruised up all over the place. Face, back, neck, arms, everything, legs, everything. He hurting everywhere. But in the shower, he getting himself together. And when he in the shower, he break down and he start crying, man. He got his head up under the shower stall. The water just running down on his face. He started crying. He like, man, please God, help me. Cause he don't know what he gonna do. He don't know what just happened. It's like they did it whether he wanted it done or not. Beat him good. He come up out of the shower. He walking back to his cell, and OG walked in with his, you know what I'm saying, a couple of his guys. He said, man, go on in there and get yourself together, man. The two dudes that was with the OG, they stand on guard at the door. This is next level now. He one of them. They give him a few minutes. They say, bro, you straight? He's like, yeah, I'm straight. Then they opened the door. OG walked in. They walked in behind him. The lights come on. You could see through the window they was embracing him. You know what I'm saying? Doing all the little ceremonial things that they need to do to make sure he understand what it is and all of that. Telling him, you know what I'm saying, what he got to do, how he got to move, all the different things that he needs to learn, all of this. Then they give him a packet that he got to read and study and know all of this thing. This is sign language, you know, how they communicate, how they talk, what they can say, what they can't say, who's cool with them, who the op is, all of this. They getting him everything right now. He got to learn this, right? It's almost like it's coming at him when he really didn't want it. He really didn't want it, but he locked in now. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when the mob tell you gonna be this and that's that on that? So now, they all come up out the cell together. He got the Lokes on, covering up his eyes because he got raccoons now. They beat him good, but you could tell his face swollen. Little bitty dude, face swole up, man. Looking weird. He come out, he mobbing with them, and everybody that's, you know what I'm saying, in the pod looking at him like shaking their head like, man, he don't even know. He don't even know what he done. They mob on up out of there. They go to breakfast together. He introducing, OG introducing him to everybody. Everybody on the compound see what it is, even the police, right? And they looking at it. Young man just made a decision that it really was forced up on him. But even in that, he made a decision. Even in that, he made a decision. Because, you know, even though it would have hurt him, he could have told the OG, man, I didn't want this. But he couldn't do it. He was scared. Fear is a decision too, y'all. Period. Remember that. So now, he go to work, you know what I'm saying? He's in school, right, because he didn't have his GED. He in school, he's sitting there doing his thing. Everybody, that's the buzz of the compound for that day. How they did him, how they beat him, how he wanted them now. Because they known for putting in work. They are a violent organization. They don't play, right? They don't play. You know what I'm saying? But he can't do nothing about it. So he gets back to the cell that afternoon and he tell his cellie, he said, man, what I'm going to do? His cellie said, man, you locked in now. Ain't really nothing you can do. So he said, man, you need to learn everything you can learn so that they don't have no reason to put hands on you no more. He said, they going to put hands on me again? He said, man, they got this thing called the rack. Put you in the rack, man, if you don't do right. He said, you can get put in the rack when you're doing right. He said, man, you just chose something, man, you really don't even understand. He said, man, it chose me. He said, well, I'm going to tell you, you better be the best at it. Because if you ain't the best at it, man, they're going to stamp all over you, man. So he sat down that night, and for the next week or so, he learned everything he needed to learn. Hand signals, how to talk, sitting around kicking it with the OG. The OG liked him. Sitting around kicking it with the OG, and then the first test comes. They got a problem. Somebody owe the OG some money because they moving that pack. So he sent him with him. They going, this is his first time going to put in work. They done already been told, let him go in first. They coming in behind him because they just going to get a piece of it. They ain't trying to let him have all the fun. He go in first. Dude balling up before he even get to him. But and one rushing, putting them hands on him. He's throwing hard and fast as he can anyway. Dude balling up. So they give him this false sense of security like he putting in work. But dude ain't even fighting back. He ain't fighting back because there's so many of them. You can't beat the mob, y'all. But this makes N1 believe that he 10 feet tall. He can put in work. Everybody on the hood talking about, man, how N1 ran into the room and started swinging and dude balled up, man, like a sucker. Balled up like a sucker. That's how they build you up. Make you think that you gon', you know what I'm saying, it's always going to be that way. they're going to always bow down to this here, you see. So he go back, talking with the OG tell him how proud he is of him, put that C in his back, all of these different types of things. They sit around, they smoke a little bit, drink a little bit, you know what I'm saying, talk a lot of stuff, tell a lot of lies to each other, do all these old types of things that, you know, what we do. It's kicking the bobo. That's what we do. Yeah, having fun. Then days go by, weeks go by, months go by. Like I say, he ain't got no little 6 years old. And they got this thing called early release, right? Early release. Like when they got overcrowded in the prison system and all this and that. And they got to let some people out. Early release came up. His name come up on the list. They call him. They call him to the office. Tell him that he need to be ready. He going up for parole on early release. He's like, I got a chance to go home. Counselor tell him, yeah. He said, but you got to get yourself together. You know, stay away from them guys. So he go back to the OG and he tell the OG, look, man, I got a chance to go home. They told me to stay away from y'all. OG said, man, we your family now. Ain't no staying away from us. He said, but I tell you what, I'm going to put you on the bench. You just going to hang with me. I ain't going to have you doing nothing. He said, because I got something for you I need you to do when you get home. He tell me, he said, man, I'll do anything for you, man. Just let me get out of here. See, he told him that because he told him he's going to put him on the bench and he wants to be put on the bench. And basically what that means is anything that's happening in here, you ain't got to participate in it. You just chill. You can do things for me when you get home is what he told him. See, what he didn't tell, what he didn't tell N1 was this. N1, not knowing that one of the homeboys on the town, right, it's on another set, but he a Crip too. But he on another set. Done scoop the OG's gal. Oh yeah, it happens, man. Lines get crossed. Boundaries get moved. Territory and people get taken. You understand? But he ain't tell N1 that. He said, man, I got some work I need you to put in for me, right? And he told him, he said, man, it's one of the homeboys, man. They on another set, man, and they ain't been taking care of the business. But and he said, that don't make sense to me. He's a Crip, though. Why would I be doing that? And he started giving him some old long drawn out excuse as to, like, you know what I'm saying, we do this from time to time. This is how we make sure everybody respecting the boundaries of the business, you know. So he's sucking it up, right? Or it appears to be. You know what I'm saying? He paying attention to everything that he's being told. And he tell him who he is. He show him a picture of him. Tell him where he lives and all this. And he happens to live, you know what I'm saying, a couple of streets over from where N1 lives. So he's like, yeah, I could take care of this. I could take care of this. But see, it really ain't in his heart to do. But he's telling the OG whatever he got to tell him so he can stay on the bench. A couple of weeks go by and it's time for him to go up for parole. He goes in there. Listen to me, man. The man look like a kid. He goes up in there and he's standing in front of the parole board and they read off all of the stuff that he had done and the things that he was in prison for and all of this kind of stuff and that he was in school. And they told him, he said, the parole board member of the board at the meeting, he told me, he said, this is what I want you to do. He said, you're going to be released from prison when you get your GED. The day you get your GED, we'll put you in the system to be released in 21 days. Oh, look, motivation. Pure motivation from that point on. And he told him he's going to get it. And lucky for him, the next test was coming up 3 months away. 3 months. He's got to study hard, put in work. And he's telling the OG all of these different types of things. The OG helps him. OG smart. OG smart. He got him sitting out at the table in the pod every day with them math books, English books, history books, everything that he needs to know. And they're drilling him, right? And if you want to know how this thing turns out, you're going to have to tune into the next episode. This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I say peace, y'all.